time to put the spotlight then on the first water technology startup that has attained the coveted unicorn title with their latest fundraise of $225 million. Govind Alagappan, who is the president at Gradiant, now joins in to talk about that as well as the company's growth plans and more. Good to have you on board. So Govind, to begin with, just walk us through what the coveted title of unicorn means for the company, as well as the total funding that the company has undertaken to date.
Thank you, Avanne, for having me on board. It's good to be on ET now. It's a great feeling for all of us as Gradient for many reasons. And I think if I can just point out the top three, we are the first and the only company in the clean tech industry to have reached this status. So obviously, it's a great situation to be. Second, I think this fundraising has happened in a very challenging financial climate. So it certainly reinforces the business model, the viability of our technology to our customers. And third, and most important, is that this reinforces the importance of clean tech, environmental businesses onto the world. So in many reasons, it's a great feeling. All of us are super excited and can't wait to take this into the next step.
I'm sure, and I bet that there is a lot of promise as well down the line. So let's just understand a little bit about your financials, because that as well looks rather promising. I understand that revenues approached close to $100 million last year and now is expected to nearly double this year. What's driving that optimism?
No, I think the water industry, if you look at it, it cuts across almost all industrial verticals. Many people don't realize water is not just for drinking purposes, from the clothes we wear to the beverages that we drink, to the food that we eat. Almost anything and everything that we touch on a day-to-day basis requires a certain degree of water. And in the manufacturing of these products, generate wastewater that needs to be, treated. So it's a very wide and diversified market. And we've built the company, almost 10 years ago. The founders are two folks from India who went to do PhD in MIT, and that's how Gradient started about 10 years ago. And since the very beginning, what was unique about us is that you have a lot of companies that are investing in R&D, but I think what we've done differently is to ensure that every bit of innovation is regularly commercialized. So that has helped us build that momentum and proximity and intimacy with customers. And we've maintained that 100%, CAGR for the last 3 years. And we're very bullish and optimistic that this momentum will continue for the next 3 to 4 years.
Okay, good to know. So walk us through the latest fundraise round. $225 million is what I understand. What will this be utilized toward?
It'll be threefold, Avanne. One, obviously, being a technology company. We want to continue to invest in ensuring that we innovate the next generation technology. The second is we'll continue to expand inorganically, go to market into new geographies is critical. We've recently announced before the fundraising, we've stepped into Middle East. We want to build on that geographical expansion. And then soon, we're also looking at entering into Europe. So prior to the fundraising, I think we were largely present in most parts of Asia Pacific, including India, plus North America. Now, I think this fundraise will help us enter into new geographies. And then the third piece will utilize to expand and grow our organic businesses that are already present in many parts of the world.
Okay, so some of the customers as well that you guys can boast of include Pfizer, GSK, Coca-Cola, as well as even Rio Tinto. Walk us through some of the industries that you cater to and some of the big clients on board.
Yeah, so since the very beginning, when Gradient started, I think our approach has been to reach out to end users where water is not just a utility or a service, but it's an important piece of the puzzle that enables them to be sustainable, one, but more importantly, enables them to generate profitability, right? I think sustainability is gaining increasing importance, but more relevant conversation revolves around the ability for business continuity. So almost all our technologies are fundamentally built around recycling, renewing, and reusing water. So this not just looks at sustainability. In many of these customers that you just pointed out are operating in locations that are water stressed. So water becomes a fundamental necessity for them to operate their business and to grow their business, which is why I think when we reached out to them and started to demonstrate the proof of concept, and once they realize it's a significant value proposition, we've been able to make inroads, and we continue to make inroads into this Fortune 100 companies, and that has been the marquee difference for us. Is we attempted to reach to these very tier one customers from the very early stage.
Okay, fair enough. And you've also currently, there are approximately, I understand, 600 water treatment facilities. Tell us a little bit more about the water purification technologies and the kind of patents that you have on these technologies.
No, it's a great question. Like I said, the innovation piece of Gradiant was the fundamental DNA and will always be the DNA. Today, I think, we have almost more than 250 patents. And, GWI, Global Water Intelligence, has also mentioned no company has reached that level of innovation in the last 10 years. So that has been instrumental in our ability to differentiate, but more importantly, demonstrate the right value proposition. So going back to your question about technology, so Gradient is an end-to-end solutions company that addresses the need of water, wastewater treatment, and reuse for most industries. So our fundamental philosophy revolves around, giving nature water back. So our technologies are fundamental catalyst to these industrial companies in driving sustainability and reaching their ESG goals. So we initially started off with what I would call as a carrier gas extraction, or CGE technology, which works on the principle of rain, humidification, dehumidification. And since then, we've evolved a number of technologies and processes that are built around this 250 patents and counting. And that has been the anchor of our ability to penetrate to these marquee clients.
And you've also got your water treatment processes that have found new uses, oilfield service companies as well. Is it one of your customers?
Right. So, like I said, the need for water and wastewater treatment cuts across many industries and many applications. So what was initially meant to be for purification of water, we've now found several parallel applications. I think oil field is one of them that you mentioned. But what was more interesting, has garnered more attention now, is the extraction or mining of lithium. So what was a technology that we call a CFRO that was applied to remove salts from water? I think, in the last, 2 years, we've realized a parallel application in removing salt from the lithium, the mines. And in this case, the salt is the lithium and the byproduct is the water. So we continue to find new applications, and that's what we call as resource recovery. And we've adopted that same technology in the recovery of precious minerals like nickel, cobalt. So it's no longer just a water and wastewater treatment play, but the same technology is applied in recovering precious, resources that are, essentially declining in the world in terms of availability.
Okay, and finally, what's the long-term game plan in terms of how you see the company growing, expanding to new markets, etc.?
We will continue. So the aspiration for us has been very clear. So since the time Gradient was founded, we want to be a global player. We started off in North America, expanded into Asia Pacific, now getting into Middle East. So, progressively, as we start to build out our organization organically and inorganically, the aspiration will always remain global. So we do expect before the end of the year that we can operate in most parts of the world, which is North America, Europe, Asia Pacific, and Middle East. And that gets us, into a meaningful size and continue that momentum. Like I said, we've been growing 100% CAGR for the last 3 years, and we want to maintain that momentum. And we'll keep the options open in terms of what are the next steps after that.
All right. Appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining in.
Thank you.